What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I see the title is going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. Definitely apologize. Not gonna lie, I wanted to put out a video yesterday, but if y'all watched my last video, I literally explained to y'all that I was just now getting sick. So yesterday, I was pretty bad off. My lower back was messed up bad. My sinuses, had a headache. Everything was just bad. So couldn't really do a video. But I'm back, definitely feel a little better. I'm not gonna say I feel great. Definitely blessed though, definitely blessed. But one thing about it, y'all got here, Scott Jennings. I wanted to show y'all this speech before I tap into CNN. But check out what Scott Jennings had to say, y'all. It's been a minute since I tapped into Scott Jennings' video.
This is the part where I warn the crowd. I'm fixing to slander the Democrats. If you're squeamish, you may want to exit. It's going to get ugly. As we stand here tonight, the Democratic Party is but a puddle. Nationally, and here in South Carolina. Well, nationally it's a puddle. Here it already evaporated, I'm sorry to say. I feel bad for some of these Democrats I run into on CNN right now. They're in a political party that has a 33% approval rating. That might be generous. One poll I saw had it at 19%. The party of FDR has become the party of DNR, do not resuscitate. I'm not a mathematician, but it turns out that when you die on the wrong side of every 80-20 hill in America, you wind up closer to the 20 than the 80 in terms of public opinion. Illegal immigration. Have you ever seen Democrats fight harder than they did for the Maryland man, Abrego Garcia?
Sad.
Crime. Senator Graham said it. Every Democrat in Congress knows crime is out of control in Washington, D.C. I go there every week. You get off the train and you trip over 2 drug deals and 2 public acts of lewdness before you even get to the taxi stand. So the president decides to do something about it. And look out! The Democrats are awake again. The violent criminals need their support. I've never seen anything like it. The principal constituencies of the Democratic Party.
And I know a lot of people say that all the time that I haven't seen that. I literally haven't seen anything about it. I don't know if it's just because, I just got into, these political videos not too long ago, a few years ago. But one thing about it is that it's absolutely crazy on how many people defend, these illegal aliens. It's crazy.
Are illegal aliens, illegal violent criminals, and the pro-Hamas Death to America protesters who are clogging up the streets and college campuses of America. That is their principal constituency. It is wild what they've become.
I'm telling you, definitely wild what they've become. Not even gonna lie. Not even gonna lie. And definitely sad. Definitely sad. Says here, this is another post by Scott Jennings, says Dems are slowly finding out that American people don't have much empathy for violent criminals, illegal alien gang members, as they do. Check this out, y'all.
Also because the military serves a role to protect Americans, not to be used against Americans.
Exactly.
You keep saying used against Americans. What kind of Americans do you mean? The ones that are carjacking us, terrorizing our cities? I mean, you're saying he's creating an actual war against American citizens when what he's actually creating is a war against criminals and, by the way, illegal aliens who they are rounding up by the bucket load in Washington.
I want to let Ellie...
Of course politics is going on here. I mean, you said that they should be asking for federal resources, but that would be an admission that they have lost control of their cities.
That's
so
not losing
Brandon
control.
Johnson,
I mean,
Chris
no,
Graham, that would be an
I'm
admission
sure.
they've
The
lost
way-
control.
the way
The mayor
that-
of D.C. asked for federal resources, too. She was trying
The way that-
But Brandon
let me-
Johnson, the
but
mayor of
let me-
Chicago, said, I don't want more police. And he even said
let
today,
me-
we don't even want to put
But
people in
this is
prison.
what I'm telling you.
I mean,
I'm
think
telling
about-
you that Democrats should think about potentially asking for more resources. What I'll say here
I
is
agree
that...
with you, but they won't.
But it's also not handing over the entire city to the federal government. What happens is that the mayor and the local law enforcement should be in charge, and they should have the federal law enforcement supplement and provide training as needed. It shouldn't be that the National Guard and federal law enforcement should take over a city that they do not understand, that they do not know, that the community doesn't understand. That just
And
leads
look,
to
I mean,
chaos.
when you heard...
Let me say this. It's actually sad how these people are literally saying, look at Scott Jennings' face. That's exactly how I feel. What my thing is that this is not something I can see. I'm gonna put this in to make this to make y'all understand more so of what I mean. I apologize. I'm trying to get better, y'all. I promise. One thing about it is that I could see if this was something that was it just happened to where Chicago has been like this for a week or two. These are things that's been going over for years. If the mayor, governor, anybody had actually cared about Chicago, they or Illinois, they literally would have done everything in their power, bro, to do what they need to do for Chicago. Meaning more police, more this. And y'all just heard him say that Brandon Johnson didn't want more police. He don't want more police at all. So I could see if this was, having a little bit more, okay, well, send the National Guard for something that happened just, over a week. And, this have been happened for over years, yo. And people are still defending. Like, how are you defending and saying that y'all don't need the National Guard there, and all this mess is happening right now? I don't get that. I absolutely don't get that. It bothers me. Check out what CNN did right here, y'all. Says CNN just slipped and accidentally aired a Chicago resident literally slamming Democrat leadership for not making her feel safe. Check it out.
My first reaction was that this is a good thing. I think that the governor as well as the mayor should be on board with it just so we can get a bit more of security in Chicago the way that we need.
The crime has dropped since 2024. Do you feel like the city feels safer?
No, not at all. No, especially with the police being defunded.
Especially with the police being defunded. This is, and I don't mean to make this about race, a young black woman literally saying, especially with them defunding the police, she does not feel safe. They don't want the National Guard there. He doesn't want more police. Nothing. I'm telling y'all, absolutely insane. Check it out.
So I just finished watching an interview of Governor Pritzker of Chicago telling President Trump not to send the military into Chicago after President Trump announced that he could potentially be sending the military to Chicago next after he sent them into Washington, D.C. Which, by the way, after he sent them into Washington, D.C., the crime rate has reportedly exponentially went down. So you have this governor, he was standing on a boat, you guys, taking questions from the press, who was asking him how did he feel about President Trump announcing that he would send the military to Chicago next, potentially. And he's like, well, we'll take it up legally. We'll take them up in courts, because that's how the Democrats always operate, whether it's illegal immigration or anything. They're gonna go to court. They don't do nothing else. They're gonna go to court. Okay? Because they bought and paid for attorneys and judges doing the bidding for them. At any rate, this dude is on a boat saying how safe it is in Chicago, and we, as you can see, don't have any problems. It's safe. I just walked down the street to dinner with my wife, and he's taking an interview on the boat, and he's taking an interview downtown in Chicago. Why didn't you have that interview on the South Side, sir? Okay. Why don't you go to the South Side and have that interview so we can really see the streets of Chicago and how things are going on in Chicago? Because for years it's been reported that Chicago has had one of the highest rates, okay? Black on black crimes for the party that loves to promote Black Lives Matter. We didn't hardly hear anything about all of those that were reportedly happening in Chicago weekend after weekend.
Come on
but
now.
don't let it be a white cop on the black guy, because we gonna hear that nonstop. Because y'all love to run that division, because that's how y'all keep us going against each other and staying in power. But now that's coming to an end. That's just, out at downtown Dallas and on a boat taking questions talking about Chicago is safe. When we know that it was nicknamed Chirac for a reason. Because it was like a war zone. And like President Trump said, there should not be any inner city in this country that looks like a war zone. Y'all don't have no problem taking billions and billions of dollars overseas under the guise of humanitarian aid, but you can't even do nothing for your own darn cities. And then when you have a man that's stepping up, trying to get the crime rate under control, trying to close the borders, trying to do more for the citizens of the country, all of a sudden, all y'all can do is go to court. Man, the hypocrisy is off the charts.
Come on now. Come on now. Literally says, wait a minute. Pritzker said we don't need the National Guard in Chicago. Well, this woman is telling Pritzker to hold a press conference on the South Side. They don't call it Chirac for no reason. I'm telling y'all, bro. People are so outraged. Not only people, y'all know I don't make everything about race, but it's a lot of black folks that's outraged about this. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of black folks that's outraged about this. I'm telling y'all that stay in Chicago, that Chicago residents, they don't care. They care so much of more so dividing. I'm telling y'all. Says here, President Trump sends a strong warning to Illinois Governor Pritzker, who demanded Trump to keep the National Guard out of Chicago. Check out what President Trump has to say.
So I would have much more respect for Pritzker if he'd call me up and say, I have a problem. Can you help me fix it? I would be so happy to do it. I don't love, not that I don't have the right to do anything I want to do. I'm the President of the United States. If I think our country's in danger, and it is in danger in these cities, I can do it. No problem going in and solving, his difficulties. But it would be nice if they'd call and they'd say, would you do it? And we.
Come on now. Says, I have the right to do anything I want to do. I'm the President of the United States. Yeah. And I definitely think that he needs to do that. This is a Chicago resident talking to Tom Homan. Let's check it out.
Sir, please, I don't care what Brandon Johnson tell you. Please come clean up Chicago, Illinois. We need you, Tom Homan. This place sucks right now. And like you said, our city sucks because our governor sucks and our mayor sucks. You were absolutely right about that. And I mean, it couldn't get more broad than that. And I just really appreciate you coming here, just speaking to the people of Chicago, listening to us more than our own mayor. You're actually doing a better job than the mayor is when it comes to listening to us.
Tom?
Well, look, I was there 2 weeks ago, and I spoke to the people there, and you're right. I said the mayor sucks and the governor sucks because of them protecting illegal aliens in your city, especially criminal illegal aliens. Their number one responsibilities is protecting the communities. So, look, I made a promise 2 weeks ago that I'd be back, and I will be back. When this operation starts, I will be in Chicago, and men and women at ICE are going to be on the streets doing their job. So I appreciate your support. And when I was out there, I met with black pastors. I met with leaders of the community. They're all on the same page. The only one on a different page is the mayor. And we're going to prove to him that we can come in and make that city safer with or without his help.
Definitely gotta make that happen, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Wanted to show y'all this last video. I feel like a lot of Chicago residents feel the same way.
I want to say thank you to our president, the people's president, like I keep saying, the real MVP, President Donald J. Trump. Thank you, President Trump, for hearing us, for listening to us. We need you here in Chicago, not just to see the National Guards. And we're asking one more thing. We need you to come in and investigate the Brandon Johnson administration, the Pritzker administration, and Tony Brinkle and CTU. Hey, it's all hands on deck. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you.
I feel like literally from the videos that I've seen, y'all know I don't make much about race on this channel at all. But y'all see how many black Chicago residents are literally asking Trump to send a National Guard, literally asking Trump to do what you need to do, to make Chicago a better place. Literally, it's all right here for you. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. The next video, make sure y'all stay tuned. Definitely a banger. Catch y'all next one.